Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and Dota players around the world. We are here bright and early Sunday morning, bringing you some Empire Cup action. This morning we have got Team Muzzy versus Team Schlinks. It is going to be an interesting day of Dota. We are through to the quarterfinals, and these teams are going to go head to head and try and get themselves into that coveted first place position to get their coaches that 20,000 bobberoonies in their pocket. I'm Jabba, joined by Cyprus, as we bring you this best of three action. What are you hoping to see, Mr. Cyprus?
I'm hoping to, well, because now we're in the knockout stage and kind of like, I'm not going to say the worst teams, but yeah, well, that's, I guess, the best word for it. Like, I'm hoping that these games are going to be nice and competitive and like enjoyable to watch. Like we've gone through the group stages, so hopefully like all of the one-sided affairs are kind of out of the way. So looking forward to a nice close a nice close game, and hopefully maybe even a best of three that goes the full length. So maybe seeing 3 games today. That'll be pretty hype, I think.
Yeah, that's going to be super cool if that does happen. I mean, we are getting to the quarterfinals, so team levels should kind of be on par, and going to be a super interesting game. So for those of you that are just joining us that never watched yesterday, pretty much what the format of this tournament is basically we are trying to empower our master players to actually take the coaching role and select players from our South African pool of players to actually create their team and try and get them first place, to see if it is actually it's not a test or anything, but it's more just to see, does coaching a South African team make such a difference that I can actually get them to first place without our big names in our Masters League. So it's going to be really interesting to even have a look at that and that kind of aspect of things. But it's been a wild ride so far. We've seen teams struggle through the draft. It's that BMT, it's that veteran attitude that a lot of the players are old and have been played for the Masters and for the Premier League, but it still sees like if you don't have your proper drafting captain, sometimes drafts can go awry. So we'll see if Team Muzzy and Team Schlinks have got that piece of ingredient down to actually create the winning formula.
Yeah. So interesting things to point out. This stuff that I've noticed is that like if you look at the ban phase, so I don't think I've seen Grimstroke come out once this tournament so far. It might have come out once for a game that I wasn't watching, but Grimstroke has been a hero that like it seems that no team just wants to deal with. So that team that getting rid of, and also other heroes that have been like a very popular flavor. We've seen a lot of PA. PA has been like, I think PA has been the most popular ban game
PA.
where that hero has been
Yep.
completely PA. I don't think I've seen a single game where that hero has been. Monkey King we've seen quite a lot. Undying we've seen quite a lot.
Void.
And Lone Druid we've seen here and there. Yeah, Void also is quite popular. Maybe not on the same, at least not this tournament on the same level as Phantom Assassin.
Oh. Sorry, I thought I had lost you for a sec.
No. But yeah, as popular pick at the moment because it's avoids. First of all, it's other meta cores like Slark, for example. Like Void is incredibly good against Slark, so it's kind of like, well, now you can't pick Slark because if you do, Void's gonna crush you.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it's a nice little like a block pick basically.
So now tell me I mean, we're going back, like say yeah. Let's just look at the way that Dota's changed over the year. Now, previously, and things that I've noticed is the way the drafts are being picked. And what's happening is, previously, supports were being picked up first. Supports, then your offlaner, and then your 2 cores, basically your mid and your safe lane core. It's now swapped around. Do you think that supports are now more coveted than your actual core? Or is it just making sure that they actually get the core that they want?
So like it's a combination of things, right? So the problem with picking up both your supports like in the first phase is that it's very easy then to draft accordingly, right? So for example, ideally what you want to be doing is that when you're drafting, you want to make sure that your draft is like as ambiguous or like doesn't at the early stages. You want to keep your opponent guessing when it comes to the draft. And the problem with drafting to your 2 supports early in the game is that your opponent can then say, okay, cool. Well, those are the 2 supports. I can now start picking core players because I know, like, for example, let's say you want to pick an offlaner and now you see their 2 supports. You can say, oh, well, then I can pick an offlaner that neither support deals with. And then,
So
oh no,
now,
well, what do? I picked my 2 supports already.
yeah, so you're basically now saying that your supports are crucial to actually winning the laning phase.
And like that, and not just this meta, but the meta previously. Like, I mean, on getting like an advantage in
If you can,
winning the laning phase.
if you can just check your marks up, as you keep cutting out on my side. I don't know if it's a threshold issue or a connection issue. If you can just,
I'll have a look.
if you can just check it out. So in the meantime, the draft is as follows: Juggernaut, Lich, Dazzle, and Pugna for Team Muzzy. For the side of Team Schlinks, opting to go for Magnus, Void, and Skyroth Mage. I've played against Skyroth Mage, and he's an absolute terror to actually deal with in the lane. Pugna, assuming is going to go mid. Skyroth, don't know yet his position. He can be played mid. We haven't seen too much of Team Schlinks being played. We've spectated 2 games yesterday of Team Muzzy. None of these heroes were actually picked in any of yesterday's games. So we'll see how they actually decide to play it out. But so far they've got a lot of protection for the Jugger. I mean, Lich has had a couple of changes made to him as well.
Yeah, okay, is it better?
Well, keep going, and then if there's any issues, I'll let you know. But yes, I can hear you at least. Now I can't hear you. Still can't hear you. While Mr. Cypress is trying to sort out his sound, we'll go and we'll just jump through the bands quickly. We got the bands coming out for Team Muzzy: PAce, Lone Druid, Monkey King, Invoker, and Puck. Now, kind of strange that I've actually just noticed is they do have Soda that was played 2 Invoker games yesterday, did really well on the Invoker, and then now they banned out the Invoker. So obviously opting that the Pugna is going to be a bit of a better game to try and maybe deal with the Skyroth Mage and the amount of spell spam that he's going to be throwing out to try and deal with that. For the side of Team Schlinks, they're going to have taken the Mummy, the Io, the Grimstroke, Winterwaven, and Tinker out of the pool so that they can try and get themselves a little bit of an advantage. And Mrs. Lena puts herself on the board. I think that's going to be their mid. Lena.
Yeah, okay, so I've just I've put the threshold like way down, so hopefully that's gonna help. So
Yeah, well, I can hear you perfectly now.
Awesome. Okay, that's great. So you were talking about Lich earlier. Yeah, so Lich has been changed. Actually, if on the side of Team Muzzy, Lich and Dazzle, both their supports have had significant changes. Lich, we spoke about the changes in length yesterday, but I'll talk about them again if there's anyone new watching that doesn't really know the changes to Lich. So Lich basically now, instead of having a sacrifice, he's got a different spell called Sinister Gaze, and how it works is it's basically a channeling disable which causes your opponent to like be hypnotized effectively and walks towards you for a short length of time. So it's Lich now has a disable as opposed to the sacrificing a creep. In addition to that, his frost armor has changed. It's now called Frost Shield. Instead of just giving static armor, it provides damage reduction, which means that it reduces all types of damage except for pure damage, of course. It also pulsates, and when it pulsates, it does a little bit of damage as well as slows in an area in an AOE. And then on the side, on Dazzle's side, his ulti's has been reworked. It's no longer Weave; it's called Bad Juju.
That's a passive now.
Yeah, it's a passive now, and effectively, like what it does is that like the more you cast things, your people around you will, your opponents around you will lose armor. And also it reduced the cooldown of his other spells, which is pretty nice. I think it definitely made Dazzle a much stronger hero in my opinion, because his Shallow Grave, Heal, and Poison Touch were like his biggest spells to begin with anyway. Like Weave was nice, but it was definitely Weave was never really the reason why you'd pick Dazzle in the first place. It normally you pick Dazzle to keep somebody alive and stuff. And with Bad Juju, you can have like you can have Shallow Grave be like a 5-second spell, you know, which is crazy. Like it's got a 5-second cooldown.
Oh wow.
So yeah, effectively. So it's pretty intense, like the cooldown reduction that you can get with Dazzle. So
What
quite
what
a good hero now.
what could the cooldown reduction be on Shallow Grave?
That's what I'm talking about. Like it's, I think the lowest I've seen is about 5 seconds.
5.
I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, I think it's about 5 that I've seen. I'm not entirely sure. Like I'm still like sussing out some of these heroes. Dazzle, I'm still like I wanna like I know how the hero works, but I don't know its constraints properly. I need to like properly read up and test it. I haven't gotten to that. I
Well,
haven't gotten that far yet.
well, myself and Dazzle, we've got a date with Destiny. I enjoy playing Dazzle. I
Yeah, Dazzle's
believe I believe if you save a hero, it's as good as getting a kill on the enemy team. That's my belief. If your hero is going to die, but you save him, it's as good as a kill.
I'm a big Dazzle fan as
Okay, it seems like you're intermittent again, so I don't think it's your threshold. Maybe your con's playing a little bit of games with you. Still, all right. Well, we'll wait and see. You were fine for a beautiful amount of time, and then we lost it. But Team Muzzy, they're going to finalize their draft with Medusa, and that is going to be Team Muzzy versus Team Schlinks. Pretty decent draft all around. I can't see any real benefits to either team. I'm certainly interested to see how it actually pans out. We did see one of the teams yesterday actually play a Faceless Void and Magnus combination, and it didn't work out too well for them. We will see if the execution from Team Schlinks is a little bit better.
yeah. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this game. I mean, look, I see that I just noticed now. Sorry, I don't know if you can hear me now.
Yes, you loud and clear now.
Cool. Like I said, I'm using a different pair of headphones. Or using the same pair of headphones I was used yesterday, but I'm using it like I'll just swap in my wired pair and see if that makes a difference. I don't know if it's because of the wireless headphones that this is happening, but yeah, if it's continuously going to be an issue, I'll get my wired pair and then like just use those for the rest of the cast.
All right, perfect. Well, I'll keep you updated if it happens again.
Sure.
But hopefully it stabilizes.
Yeah, awesome. Looking at I'm looking at Team Muzzy's draft. They've got a lot of damage, a ton of damage, but I am worried about. Okay, so I've just got a message from Slinks to say that he's left. So he's left, and you'll obviously get a message from Muzzy.
And Muzzy's left as well. So I've got confirmation that both the coaches are out of the lobby. So that's fantastic. The game is about to get underway. Yeah. So tell me your thoughts on the draft. The players, obviously, we don't know too much of the players. They could be players from any field, from any MMR rating.
Yeah.
Looking at the draft alone, who has the better deal?
So it looks like, so when it comes to, so if I'm looking at personally, I would say I prefer Team Schlinks' draft, just because I worry about these lineups where, like, for example, if you look at the teams of Muzzy, for example, where you've got this hero that, like, it feels like it can't fight from very early on. I look at the side of Team Schlinks, and it looks like that team is, like, capable of pretty much, you know, fighting as 5 from a pretty early point in the game. Where on the side of Team Muzzy, they're gonna have to wait and make space for this Medusa to really come online properly. Having said that, though, from the games that we have watched, because we've casted 2 of Team Muzzy's games, like, this team has been drafting and playing in such a way that, you know, they do have 4 protect 1, where that one is with Soda in the mid lane, and they like make space and make space for him to farm and to come online. I think that, like, mostly they've been doing that with Invoker, and now they're just doing it with Medusa. So it's a formula they've had success with in the past. So we'll see how they come about doing that. Like, I like their heroes in general. I think the heroes they've picked are very strong. I'm just worried about this Medusa being able to come online on time.
Well, what kind of build can we expect from her then? Do we?
So it'll be to be honest with you, it'll be like the standard, like what I think it'll be like the standard what Medusa goes. So like you'll probably see so like at the moment when it comes to your cores, so like all the cores at the moment are either like either getting like mass wraith band braces or null talisman, depending on whether or not they're the agility, strength or intelligence cores. So for
Mm-hmm.
example with Medusa, you'll see like she'll probably get like two or three wraith bands, and then she'll get herself some treads or phase boots or something. Um, Probably phase boots, and then um,
Well,
and then you'll
Phase Boots did have a rework, and then they reworked them
yeah.
back. So
Yeah, I
obviously,
think
they found it a little bit
I don't
maybe overpowered.
to be funnily enough, actually, I actually never got the chance to play to buy the new phase boots. I just like I've been playing like mostly support heroes in my ranked games, so it's kind of like I just never needed to buy them. So I never tested them out myself personally, but
Hmm.
I was speaking to somebody the other day who actually is happier that they're back because like basically what's happened is instead of it being a passive, now it's an active, so you can choose when to use it. And the problem was that apparently that like when someone went into trees or whatever, you couldn't use your phase to chase them down. Whereas now that it's an active ability, you can. You have to like previously you had to see them.
Yes.
Um,
It always
so
became like a Phantom Rush, like PL's
yeah,
Phantom
yeah,
Rush.
yeah, exactly. So I mean, if I'm going from my opinion, like I'd probably prefer it like this way because you've got more control on like when to use it. Which I think is a bit better.
Well,
Um,
before the game gets too underway, let's go around and do the introduction. So there's a little bit of a tussle happening bot here. Vusi, he wants to try and find the kill onto Spirit or Sprint
yeah,
or Sport, or I'll let you introduce the die and you can
Sparta.
come up with
That's Sparta.
Sparta.
Yeah.
Okay, hey, all right, I get it, I get it. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, for those of you that are just joining us, we're here at the Empower Cup. It is the first game of our Sunday morning. It is going to be Team Muzzy versus Team Schlinks. On the side of the Radiant, which is going to be Team Muzzy, we have got Malf playing the Lich. We've got No Bump S Dude going to be playing the Pugna. Sitting in the mid lane, we're going to have Soda playing the Medusa. And in the bot lane, it is going to be Vusi on the Juggernaut and Mgod Doppel playing the Dazzle.
Yeah. So on the side of the Dire, we've got Game Reaper, who, in fact, if anyone doesn't know, that's Aghanim's little brother. He'll be playing Skyroth Mage. We've got Sparta playing the Magnus. In the mid lane, we've got Little Spoon playing Lina, and then in the top lane, we've got like who's that?
Severe.
Void will be played by Syl, and then the Ogre will be played by Sangreal.
Sangreal. So that rounds up the boys that are playing here for Team Muzzy, Team Schlink, wishing them the best of luck, making sure that their coaches have taught them well in the art of combat as this game does get underway. Now, we haven't spoken too much about lanes. Talk to me about that. What can we expect here? Which is the winning lane? Which is going to have a better timing game, etc., etc.?
Well, like just looking at the lanes right now, so like I can't. Okay, I'm not particularly convinced that any lane like these lanes seem to be like pretty even, right? It's like I'd say the one so the only lane I think these lanes are like really even. I think it's gonna come down to really who the better players are and like which lanes are better executed as opposed to like me just saying, oh, this lane should win. For example, if you look at the top lane, like I definitely think that um what do you call it? The Lich Pugna lane can be more aggressive, but this Void does have the capability, at least later on, to time walk pretty much all the damage off.
Well, I did see that he
Um,
actually did walk off quite a bit of damage earlier, so
yeah,
it's going to cost a lot of mana to actually try and
yeah,
bring that void down. And that ogre's so
yeah,
tanky. It's just it's like almost a waste to try and deal with
yeah.
him.
So I think, for example, I think like definitely the matchup that is the most one-sided is this top lane for Team Muzzy. I think it's definitely a winning matchup for Team Muzzy. But I don't like if this Void plays like correctly and if he plays safe enough, I don't see how they should be able to kill him. it's going to be an annoying lane, but he has time walk, so he should be
Yeah.
able to time walk all the damage I can throw at him, or like
Oh,
most
well.
of the damage at least.
Well, he just did time lapse and they dropped a whole bunch of effort on him. Now in the bot lane, they do manage to get first blood here for Team Mazin taking down the Magnus, so that's a pretty big deal for them.
Yep. I'm not too sure what happened there. I assume he must have either not had enough mana for. Oh, he used skewer. Okay, so he must have accidentally skewered the Juggernaut, and the Juggernaut just span and kill him or something. I assume that's what happened.
Well, when you can't get away from a spinning Jugger, it does become a little bit of a problem. But this top lane is rather interesting. I mean, Pugna and the Lich constantly having enough mana to just constantly harass. It's still surprising that they actually toe and toe in terms of last hits. Denies and last hits, the Pugna and the Void. So I'd say Team Muzzy in the off lane is actually doing rather well.
Yeah, I mean, you say that they're doing rather well, right? Like I think, like I said earlier.
Well, the Void should be doing better, considering that it's his lane.
Well, no, I disagree because I think this is definitely like a favorable matchup for the Pugna and the Lich in terms of being able to be more aggressive. So the fact that Void's on par with him, I think is like I think that's really well played by the Void and this team. So the fact that he can keep up, if you will, is quite impressive. So yeah, that's my opinion. At least.
Wow. Still almost going down. This top lane has actually been super aggressive here. They're actually constantly finding. They haven't found a kill just yet. One charges for days. They actually had a full-on fight. No actual real outcome or victor.
Yeah, these magic stick pickups from the Void and the Ogre are incredibly value. Like they're gonna be. I'm pretty sure like it's these sticks are gonna be like fully charged more than anything else. This game, just because of like the constant spam coming out from the Lich and the Pugna is just going to be unreal. And the fact, it's pretty much going to be more value than buying salves or whatever. Just buy yourself a stick and then you'll be good to go. I'm pretty sure like they'll probably even upgrade them to ones like not too long from now.
Yeah, I would actually see them upgrade to the full wand, not just the stick.
Yeah.
And then it would be
definitely.
like
20, obviously, because then you get 20 charges instead of 10.
Yeah. But yeah, it's been a very aggressive lane, very aggressive, but no real outcome. So it's actually an enjoyable lane to watch because it seems like they jousting with one another.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like I said, because of the Void's capability, or because of the Void's time walk, it's quite difficult for because obviously the way you typically want to deal with see what happens here.
Oh well.
Yeah,
well, they're putting in a lot of damage onto Void. He does actually get feared out, trying to bring him close to Malf. Good body block coming out from Shangri-La. He can't actually get close enough to the Void, but he may actually pay with his life here. Good use of the one charge. They thought they actually got the kill. No bump actually turning around. Gets close, drops the hammer, and he just does go down eventually. Now no bump. He's trying to close, trying to get out of there. Void jumping forward. No. Good dodge coming around. Oh my god, this could be a double kill coming out for no bump. Throws down it. It's not going to be good enough, but one more right click could be good enough. And it is no uphill mischance and getting themselves a double kill in the top lane. Very close to going the other way around. In the meantime, in the bot lane, they did get the rotation coming out from Little Spoon, getting himself a double kill. So both Vusi and on the Juggernaut and the Dazzle hitting the deck hard. Soda in the mid lane, he's just happy to sit and farm away. Someone that we actually haven't even looked at the mid lane yet. Stacking that the Wraithband build. Is that now what we call it, the Wraithband build?
Well, it's just like, I mean, it's just the build on like cores now. So like I said earlier, if you're strength, agility, or nulls, you just like you stack these items because of how much much value they give you in like this early game. And one of the biggest first of all, like they provide so much value. So obviously with the change to the fact that then like so Wraithbands, for example, they give the same stats as they used to, but they also give an additional +6 attack speed. So the amount of like value they give like an agility cores, like I think it was buying two Wraithbands and brown boots was better than getting like treads for an agility core. I think like if my math is correct or something like that. I think I always test it out. Like it gives you more attack speed, more stats, all that kind of stuff. for like a marginal increase in price. So yeah, so they're incredibly value right. It's incredibly value right now. But another thing that's super nice about it is that like going a build like this basically means that you as a core. Ooh, what's going on here?
You're functional early on in the game.
Yeah, exactly. You've got like really good early game stats, so you can come and help your team from like a much earlier point where previously you used to have these cores that like kind of went for like these big farming items first. So like they're like, guys, I need space to farm for like another 10 minutes or something, and then I'll get items and that can help me be online. Whereas now, a lot of cores are functional from very early on. I mean, in fact, actually, I was about to look at Juggernaut and say, look at his build, but he actually hasn't gotten any Wraith bans or anything like that this game himself.
Obviously opting to go for the treads and
Yeah.
continue that build. But I suppose making sure the Jugger can actually fight early on with his Omni Slash, the Medusa is probably more of the problem to actually fight early game if needed. So I suppose the thinking is, well, Jugger's going to be our mid game and just play towards the mid game. Medusa has to force herself to actually play the mid game.
Yeah. I mean, like, we'll have to see how that goes. I would have assumed that, I still do assume that they intend for Juggernaut to be like more of an early game to mid game presence, and then like Medusa to come into the late game. I mean, like, there's only so much that Medusa can do with like minimal farm. It's a Medusa, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll have to see how like what their intentions are, I guess, as they unfold. I just assumed that Medusa would be the one, using the space to farm, which I guess has been the case at the moment. He has pretty much been statically farming the jungle and.
What time could we see her leave her lane or come out of the jungle?
I mean, like that's the thing with like a Medusa middle. Like she's kind of like a DK, right? Like she has no obligation to like go and gank a lane. She doesn't really offer much value to like rotating to lane and like ganking. She has no form of disable or burst really. So she'll kind of like just like come to the lane and just like statically hit things. And at this point, it's like the best thing she can do is just hit people up with like a Mystic Snake, and that's it really. So it'd be like a lot more efficient for her just to kind of like get her items up and use the space to farm. So it's more like the onus is more on her team to, make space, push objectives while she stays in the mid lane, gets the mid tower or something, and then just farms up her core items. Because she's gonna be like basically the win condition for Team Muzzy is definitely Soda. Like on this Medusa, making sure that she gets all her items up, because there's like very little that's more scary than a 6-slotted Medusa just like, hitting up your team.
Well, top lane, we're going to have a little bit of a Lich Bite in the dust. It does go down. They're actually going to commit bubble here onto the Pugna. And there's so much being thrown at him. I can't see him surviving through it, but that little bit of extra damage coming out from the Skywrath Mage does take him down. Actually really close to actually surviving. Did have DK up at Decryptify, but it's still not good enough. He is going to go down. And nice rotation coming out from the Skywrath Mage. Team Schlink sitting 6-3 at 12 minutes in. They're playing... I mean, how would you describe this game so far? I mean, it doesn't seem that it's passive, but it's still low kill count for the aggression. I don't know. Do you feel that? I'm feeling that. Like it's very aggressive, but still not willing to commit.
Yeah, because the reason is that, like, okay, so let's look at the mid lane, for example, right? So, like, Soda has... Okay, so the one... if you look at the mid lane when it's, like, Lina versus Soda, right? Lina's the one who's definitely wants to... Like, she's the one who needs to be more proactive, and she's the one who, like, wants to be killing Soda more than the other way around. Soda on the Medusa is, like, perfectly happy just trading farm, right?
Yes.
And the problem with the Lina, because of how tanky Medusa is and because of her mana shield and stuff, it's incredibly hard for him to bring the Medusa down by herself.
Good call there from Mouth. They're going to actually turn it around here into Lina, and a good use of Omni Slash taking her down. Can't even keep herself through it. And that little staring gaze, what do we call it? The sinister gaze.
Sinister gaze, yeah.
As stopping the TP, she couldn't get out, and poor Lina being caught out of bounds in their jungle. But yeah, bot lane, RP being used out onto the Jugger. Dazzle, he's going to go down, tries to get the Mystic Flare, graves himself up, but they turn it around, throws out the Poison Touch. Vusi trying to work on Skywrath Mage. Dazzle does go down, showing himself a little bit too much there. They get a trade there. But now Sparta, he's going to try and get himself out of there. Does he actually have enough for a skewer? No, he doesn't. 7 seconds. Mystic Snake, here comes the Battle Fury working him down. Is it going to be enough? It should be enough for him to go down here, and Vusi gets himself a double kill.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, going back to the whole point of why there haven't been too many kills this game so far, it's largely just because, like, I mean, in the respective lanes, it just feels like the team that's trying to be aggressive and trying to get the kills is like just struggling to do so because, you know, their opponents in the lane are like very capable of like withstanding the damage that's being able to throw them. Like I mentioned with the Medusa and the Lina, like Lina doesn't really like finds it pretty hard to kill the Medusa when she's got like a lot of mana pretty much because of mana shield's damage reduction.
So the way they're playing at the moment, it's favoring Team Muzzy.
I would say so, yes. Like the longer this game stays, like, I mean, in addition to that, like, look at the powers that Team Muzzy's got. Like, Team Muzzy have definitely managed to do a lot more damage when it comes to like getting objectives and stuff. They've managed to get the mid lane, the middle lane tier 1 and the top lane tier 1. So like, what do you call it? Like, not only has this game been like largely a statically farming game, but you know, they're actually getting the objectives as well. So looking pretty good for them at the moment.
Stone Gaze being used out. They can't actually find anyone here from Team Schling, so Stone Gaze just securing themselves that tier 1 tower. They may actually try to make a play here. They don't have RP, so that's a little bit of a problem for them. Laguna Coil is not available either. Team Muzzy, they've got everything available to them except for Stone Gaze, so they could actually potentially take a tier 2 tower here. A nice deep nether ward being placed as well.
I do think that's their intention. If you look at just, if I want to like draw your attention to Medusa's item build, so she's opted to go for a Vlad, so obviously very, very keen on the idea of you know, grouping up with a team early like she's doing and taking objectives. She doesn't intend on sitting by herself and farming, so she's definitely going more a team-oriented build this game.
Well, Lina, she may go down. You have Vusi concentrating all his power onto her. She's going to be able to survive through it. The Grave comes out immediately. Little Spoon still surviving. There comes down the ball. In the meantime, in the back line's been beautifully zoned out by their own teammate. Void Dazzle does go down. They do lose the Jugger. Lina managing to survive through it, even taking the Omni Slash. They're going to lose the Lich as well. So now all of a sudden, Team Schlinks playing amazingly, taking down 3 enemies here for Team Muzzy. And maybe able to defend and actually not lose anyone. Captain Lina was she was about to go down. I don't know how close if you saw that, but she had a very low HP. But during all of that, they didn't actually have the Medusa with them.
Yeah, so they managed to get 2 towers over that whole affair. So got the tier 1 bottom and then the tier 2. So I don't think Team Muzzy will be overly upset by that. I mean, I do think it's still like pretty you know, it's still like I think it still favors I still think it favors Team Schlinks a little bit because I mean, like they've dropped in net worth for sure. Like I mean, they've caught up in net worth for sure. But yeah, like it's not the end of the world. They managed to get two towers for that, one of which is the tier 2. So you know, it's a relatively even trade.
That hurt. That hurt hard. Dazzle walking up the hill to a Lina and a Skyroth mage. But the thing is, he knew that they were there. I mean, you could see them approaching. So the fact he never got out a little bit earlier, I think maybe just making sure that the Medusa wasn't tracked down, rather sacrificing his life.
I didn't see that, unfortunately, so I'm not really sure.
Well,
ooh, what's going on here?
He gets silenced out. There comes out the light strike array, catching out the Lich. Now Soda just going to right click, push a little bit harder there.
Yeah, I think the supports on the side of Team Muzzy just need to be careful with where they run around. So they're running in areas where they literally do not have any vision, right? So going up on high ground. I mean, like Dazzle just died there, right? And then like Lich kind of ran up there like on his own to get vision up. But like you know that there's a Lina and probably more people still hanging around. So a bit questionable. Running up there by yourself, but yeah, and he's got vision there now though. He placed it before he died, so hopefully that lasts long enough.
Well, I know exactly that they smoked.
Ooh, hello, big RP.
Can't do anything thereafter. There comes out the Lich ulti, comes down the Stone Gaze, trying to make some work here. Team Schlinks in a little bit of trouble. Lost 2. Magnus is going to go down as well. So on the back of that, they do manage to pick up some nice kills there. Actually completely knowing exactly what Team Schlinks was doing. The smoke actually under the ward, smoking under that ward, not even realizing that it's there.
I don't really understand that. Yeah, continue.
No, it will continue. It was just they actually smoked earlier under this ward that's over here.
Yeah.
So Team Mazzy knew exactly what was going on.
I don't really understand that play though, because like the RP was great and all, but like I noticed like straight after the fight, right? Like Lina and Void had his Chrono up, and Lina also had his ulti up. They had all their spells, but they weren't like the two of them weren't anywhere near that. So I don't understand why Team
Maybe
Schlinks
disjointed.
like an RP. Yeah, I mean, it did felt. That's my point. Like it was very disjointed. They committed like a huge spell to try to get a kill, but they didn't even have their two strongest heroes like with them.
Well, here we go. Bubble committed, catches out two. The Grave is going to be good, keeping Vusi alive. Little Spoon going to be taken down by the life drain. Now only 4 alive here for the side of Team Schlinks. Lich is down as well, but no bump. He's going to try and chase it down. Going to throw it down. The Nether Blast gets it good. And Ogre does go down. Vusi chasing down Skyroth Mage. He's going to go down as well. Still needs to get himself out of there. They're losing players thick and fast here for the side of Team Schlinks. Magnus using that RP a little bit earlier. Didn't have it for that team fight, so things went really well for Team Mazzy, knowing exactly the cooldowns of what the RP is. And this was one of the things that you mentioned. I mean, playing around those big LTs, you kind of struggle.
Yeah, I mean, like right now, it just feels like Team Schlinks are a little bit all over the place. Like that, the thing is that they've got so much capability to like really wipe the floor with this team, right? They've got like like RP plus Chrono, really like two really big ultimates, but they're not really using them effectively right now. Not really playing too well as a team. So, and like paying the price for it at the moment, to be honest.
Well, they're pushing mid lane of Rax here, 20 minutes in. This is a big push here for Team Mazzy. Omni Slash being used out, going to take down Game Reaper. Mystic Flare being used out. They lose Syl as well. Void not even having his ulti, trying to jump in, doing a little bit of damage. I think it was to no avail. And in the backline, Sparta and Sangreal, the only ones that are planning a defense. Lina sitting in base. They do clean up the mid lane of Rax, looking to try and push top now. They don't.
Void has no buyback. Void's got no buyback, so.
But they do have RP. They do have RP up onto the Magnus, so we'll see if we can actually try and get a play there. He has got Blink. I don't know if he had Blink earlier, but he has it now at least. He's going to see if he can maybe line up something. Vusi taking quite a bit of damage. Dazzle, he's going to try and heal him up. And they may just be quite happy with this. They did take down the top tier 3 tower now. They may actually look at continue pushing here. The Void is down. Okay, he's going to be back now. Void bubble available in 10, so I think they're going to... Good hold by Team Schlinks for their top lane of Rax. They did lose the mid, so I suppose it's not too much of a loss considering that the kill count is 14 and 14. But the bigger deal is the 8k net worth advantage in favor of Team Mazzy.
The worry I have for Team Schlinks at the moment. Okay, first of all, they're Rax down, so it's not looking particularly great for them. But the other thing is that like they're significantly behind, and they're against the Medusa.
Yeah.
Like it's only gonna get more and more difficult to take this to deal with this hero. So they seriously need to like kind of rein it in, like start getting some big team fight wins and getting some objectives. Like otherwise, if they leave this game to too late, things can get might get quite hairy for them quite fast.
I think it was a little bit of a dirty pick picking up the Medusa last. They had no one to like really deal with the Medusa, no one that can really carry like a Diff Blade. The Dazzle's going to actually be caught out, and he's going to actually be punished. In that case scenario, that is like a win for Team Mazzy. They smoked up, they found the Dazzle, of real no consequence. They didn't find a core, so I think that smoke kind of went the best way it could have for Team Mazzy.
Yeah, I think ideally what would like the ideal transition for Team Schlinks there would have been like kill what do you call it? Kill the Dazzle and then go for a rush play there, or something like that, or get a tier 1. But unfortunately, because of the not having a Rax middle, the wave was pushing in, so they unfortunately had to get back. So they literally got nothing out of that. So smoke play, getting a Dazzle, and then having to retreat back to your base because the lanes are pushing in. Not really ideal, sadly. So yeah, like you said, a very I'm pretty sure team. I wouldn't say it's a win for Team Mazzy, but they'll be happy with
best
that
scenario.
outcome.
Yeah, the best outcome that could have taken place.
Yeah, exactly.
And the problem is that the longer this game goes on, I feel that it's more in favor of Team Muzzy, and at the moment
Yeah,
they're ahead.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like I said, that's why I was saying. So, um, yeah, like
So close.
yeah,
So close. Little Spoon almost saving the life of his comrade.
yeah. So, yeah, like we said earlier, Team Slink like seriously need to pick up the pace if they have any chance on winning this game. Like it's a chance. I mean, I don't know if I can pull up the win probability now. I don't even know if I can.
What
actually.
key is it?
I'm not sure. I'm checking XP and net worth, but it's not coming up. I don't know if there is a key. So oh well. If someone can tell me what the win probability is, that'd be great. Whoever's watching or whatever. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it's quite in the favor of Team Muzzy at the moment because of this Medusa.
Yeah, her net worth is absolutely phenomenal. The closest one to her is actually the Jugger, and she's 3k gold ahead. So her items are.
And Jugs on her team, so I don't think she's too bothered about that either.
No.
So yeah, like very very far ahead.
It's almost like Team Schlinks needs to actually take Rosh, force a fight on their terms, basically engaging with the perfect RP into perfect bubble, and taking it from there. I think that's like the best case scenario that can happen for them. But here we go. They may actually catch out Soda. They're going to open up with Little Spoon. Comes out the Laguna Coil. Misses it on the illusion. Mystic Flare not going to actually catch. They're going to actually pop the shrine. Bubble comes down. They have got 3 in the bubble, but the Nether Ward doing so much work. They may actually bring down Soda. They do. RP being used up. Like brilliant Grave coming out from the Dazzle, but it's not going to be enough. And they get a beautiful kill there down onto Team Muzzy. The Omni Stash is going to take down the poor old Ogre. And now Vusi is going to try and fight them here alone. No bump coming back to the party. Going to see if they can actually try and keep them alive. Skewer back into the fray. No bump. He's going to come in and help out his compatriot. There comes out the healing ward's going to be taken down. No bump. He's going to try and stay close enough. They may try and turn here onto the void. There comes the spin. Is he got enough to actually get out of there? He's going to be able to Shadow Blade up and get himself out. And all of a sudden, 2v1 and they... or 2v3, and they actually chased away Team Schlinks. So still understanding the fact that they're really strong and actually falling back.
I think Team Schlinks, they got a really it's a huge fight that they won there, but like after they killed the Medusa and stuff, I think they're starting to bite off more than they can chew, trying to kill the Juggernaut with a double damage plus the Pugna when they pretty much use all of their spells. So I think okay, in hindsight it's kind of obvious, but should have just getting the team fight win and then just backing off. You're not going to kill the Juggernaut and the Pugna unless they misplay really hard.
Yeah.
But after that fight, Medusa's just managed to pick up the Aegis. That's a bit of a setback for the side of Team Schlinks. I think they really needed that. Now they have to try kill this Medusa twice, as if it was easy enough to kill it once already.
So I got feedback from guys watching the game. 94%.
Yeah,
94% win chance coming out for Team Muzzy. Shout out to you guys that sent me messages. There were a couple of you, so I won't mention you by name, but thanks for getting back to us. 94% in favor of Team Muzzy. That is pretty ridiculous. Look, there's 6% chance of them coming back, and what would that 6% be?
That 6% would be probably if Medusa miraculously deletes one of her items.
Really? I thought maybe you were going to tell me a beautiful RP into Chrono, into everything that the Lina can throw out, and take it from there into Mystic.
I'm being funny, but the thing is, I'm more saying this now because Medusa has Aegis now, right? The thing is, they had to commit everything.
Void finds 2. Didn't catch the Dazzle, so now the Dazzle's just going to be able to grave whoever needs to be graved. RP catches out 2. Not being able to actually synergize their abilities here, and it's going to cause a problem here for Team Schlinks. And the boys do actually tap out. GG is called by Mr. Spider, and Team Muzzy takes a game number 1. Yeah, I mean, the fact that that Soda and the Medusa just kind of started accelerating ahead made it really difficult for Team Schlinks to actually come back.
Yep. Like we said earlier, Soda, previous Masters player, really good player. So I think Team Muzzy just understand, like, make space for him to get farm and he'll just win the game for them. So, playing to their strengths and it's working out for them, I guess.
Well, I mean, it was a phenomenal game. I mean, it felt like it was a really interesting game. Kind of relatively low kill count, but at the same
Hmm.
time, it was a rather exciting game nonetheless.
Yeah, for sure.
It wasn't like it was static.
Yeah, not a huge amount of kills, but still action packed.
Mm,
Mostly like focused on getting objectives and stuff.
yeah. Well, the next lobby is up. I'm in the next lobby. I'm gonna be just can carry on talking. It's because we're gonna jump into game 3 as soon as everyone has joined.
I've got
It
a
was.
seasonal terrain. Feels good.
I also got one. I also got one.
Feels good.
I wonder if we can.
Thank you, Gaben.
Let's see if I can actually activate it. Yeah. Boom. Season terrain.
Nah, I like my terrain. I'm not gonna be using it.
Well,
I'm
I'm gonna equip it for the stream.
Okay, I'm a user of the Immortal Gardens.
Equip. Yes. All right, guys. So you're gonna be the first to witness here the new terrain that is available as soon as you log on to your Dota client. That's gonna be super exciting.
Okay.
Right. Well, most of the players are making their way back into the lobby now. What can you say? What can Team Schlinks actually do?
Well, I think so I mentioned earlier, right? It seems so, and this has been the the flavor that Team Muzzy have been drafting towards in the last few games, right? Is that they they're prioritizing Soda's farm, right? And it's easy to do that if you have last pick. So to be honest with you, I think they need to try and make sure that they can pick a hero, they can pick heroes that disrupt. Basically, they need to do one of two things. Either if they have last pick, which I think they have now. Not entirely sure, but I think they have last pick now. If they have last pick, make sure that it's something that really puts some hectic pressure onto Soda, because Soda is pretty much where they put their win condition. Um, Otherwise, if you don't have last pick, it makes it a bit harder to do that. But what you can do is you can kind of reduce the heroes that they can pick that's like really good with really good against what your draft is, right? So just
Mm.
make sure that you can't pick something that you can't deal with, which was the case. Which was the case here. Lina couldn't really kill a lane, didn't really have much to take down the Medusa. I'm not suggesting they have to ban Medusa, but just as an example, they need to make sure that they get rid of those heroes that you know that they can't really deal with.
Mm.
And
Well, I
and
mean,
if they can deal with them, just put pressure on them.
is Medusa a worthy ban though?
Um, Not if you have the heroes to deal with it. No. And the thing is like Medusa. Like I said, I was skeptical of the hero initially, just because look, Soda played it really well. Soda wasn't really offline for a long period of time. Like he went multiple wraith bands and then Blads and just pretty much pushed with his team. And
Yeah, yeah.
that worked pretty well. Like it was incredibly hard to take her down. So the way they played the Medusa was incredibly effective, and it meant that she was able to be online with a team from a really early on. Um, but yeah, I think maybe not Medusa specifically, but that type of hero. They're playing these farming mid lane heroes on Soda, right? So I don't think they need to worry too much on Soda playing these playmaking heroes, because I don't think that's their intention. I think what they need to be looking at is ban out these mid heroes that want to be sitting in their lane and farming up and using the space basically. So heroes like Invoker, heroes like Medusa, heroes
Mm-hmm.
um
But Soda's really good at actually finding the right time when to actually be with his team,
yeah.
because the
I mean,
whole
so does
time,
yeah.
because
Yeah, yeah, okay.
he
Sorry,
was
I think
basically sitting in the mid lane, and his teams were doing actually okay in the laning phase, so he didn't actually move out. But then as soon as he had got in
yeah.
his items that made him feel comfortable to fight, things just went really well for them.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, like I said, Soda's a good player. He played. He used to play Masters. Like I think he played Masters last year and the year before as well. Like played with Team RDK. Oh, not Team RDK. Played with RDK. Back with Energy Esports and XD for a while when he was still playing with them. We played for APG last year, I think. So yeah, guys. I think he's been playing. I think he's mostly been playing PUBG this year.
Yeah.
But like still a divine level player. Still like a really talented Dota 2 player. So like back when he was like playing Dota 2 competitively, still I think he was regarded as like one of the best mid players in the country. So he's not by no means is he like a like he basically like he knows what to do. He's one of the better players in this country, I'd say. Still, even.
So I mean, it's so Dota generally is like one of those abilities that can DK, but but obviously he still probably plays casually and still
Yeah.
knows his way around the mouse. So
Yeah. I mean, Dota 2 is very similar to riding a bike, right? Like, I don't think you ever really forget, like, how to play. I mean, sure, the metal will change, you'll need to, like, readjust. And obviously, like, there's still that time where, like, if you haven't played for a very, very long time, you're not going to be as good as you once were, possibly. But, like, it's not like he's going to be, like, like, he comes back and it's like, I don't know what to do anymore. So, like, point is, if you were an incredibly good Dota 2 player and you stop playing and also he hasn't, not like he stopped playing, he just like hasn't been playing competitively. The point is like, I don't think you ever really completely lose it. So yeah, like, he was a good Dota player a couple years ago, and he still is,
yeah.
So he's by no means has he shown any indication that he's like a shadow of his former self.
No, so he's still got the vibe, still got what it takes to actually be a relevant player in the Dota 2 scene. Well, we're in game number 2. Let's just go and do the introductions because the in-game client is up. Welcome to the second game of Team Muzzy versus Team Schlinks. Team Muzzy actually being able to take game 1 out of this best of 3 series. We are here at the Empower Cup. Where the coaches matters and the players are just the extension of the coach's mind. We'll see how the game pans out. It was actually a pretty good execution coming out from Team Muzzy, even picking up relatively late game heroes. Well, we're specifically talking about the Medusa, being able to finish the game out in just under 30 minutes.
Yeah, exactly right. So it's gonna be interesting to see how. I think the onus is gonna be on Team Schlinks to kind of like adjust their ban and draft accordingly, because obviously like their approach to the previous game didn't really have the correct answers to what Team Muzzy wants to do. So they need to make sure that like I said earlier, right? I think like Team Muzzy, I think they've got a very, very, very static formula in terms of how they want to play, which is fine because they've been executing it really well. But now it's up to Team Schlinks to recognize this and draft accordingly. I think making sure that their draft is going to be suitable against that sort of game style. I think.
What kind of advice, if you were sitting now in the lobby with your players and you're trying to pick up a draft, what would you do? What would you try and draft? I know you don't want to give too much away in the beginning parts of the draft, but would you want to say, all right, guys, we're going to hit the timing. We want to start pushing tier 1s at about 25 minutes in. Let's get to that point. Or do we want to say, like, what kind of advice would you give your team?
I mean, other than the obvious, like, make sure you draft strong lanes and all that kind of stuff, right? Which is really important currently. I would say that, like, if you're playing against a team that's clearly wanting to make space for like your mid player, whatever, I'd say the best possible solution is draft a lineup that's going to be putting a lot of pressure on the map from at early stages, right? Reduce the amount of time that these players like Soda, like VC have to farm the items and win them the game, right? They're like Team Muzzy seem to be drafting these lineups where it's kind of like they don't seem to be drafting these Roma-esque heroes. They're drafting like basically like two, if you want to call them, two hard supports plus
so
plus
two
like
4.5s. Right? So basically 2 4.5s.
effectively, right? So what that inevitably means is that like there's a lot of emphasis on your cores and like them getting their farm up pretty quickly, right?
Yeah.
So the way you can counteract that um is by putting early pressure on them, putting early pressure on them, making their map really small, reducing the space that they have to farm, and then yeah, like just getting an immense network advantage like that, and just like basically stopping them from being able to farm up their items and do what they want to do. Like put the pressure on them. And the last game, it was the exact opposite. Team Muzzy, putting the pressure on the side of Team Schlinks. So yeah, I mean, we'll see what Team Schlinks has in mind. Like they've already gotten rid of
The
gotten
Pugna.
rid of the Pugna, so that's one change they've decided. So they've decided that Pugna was one of the big problems this game, so getting rid of that. Because the nice thing about Pugna is that you can pick it and play it in like multiple lanes, but it provides like it gives your team a lot of siege potential.
Yes.
You can pick that up, and it's like just with that hero alone, like you've got a lot of siege presence, which can be really really annoying, and a lot of bursts and a whole bunch of stuff. So
Well, a hero that
obviously get rid of
hasn't
that.
a hero that
Yeah.
hasn't been banned yet is Grimstroke.
Yeah, so
So
Grimstroke, so very, very. I reckon actually, like they're gonna pick it up. Oh, they didn't. Okay, so Brewmaster Phoenix is incredibly popular lane. So with Cinder Brews, I think it's still the same. I don't know if they took it away. Someone was mentioning about it, but I think Cinder Brew works with fire damage, and so like like it amplifies fire damage or something. Or it's
okay.
the other way around. I need to check if that's still a thing. That was a thing in 7.20. I don't know if they got rid of it because it was like incredibly broken. So if it's still there, um, this is gonna be quite
Quite
an
a
irritating lane to deal with. Um, but yeah, like having said that, Juggernaut's like probably one of the go-to carry heroes to deal with Brewmaster as well. So I think Team Muzzy have a suitable lane to deal with this. So I don't think they're going to
how
be
so?
overly worried.
How
Because
so?
so like basically so Brewmaster Brewmaster isn't a particularly fast hero for starters.
Mm.
So like if Juggernaut spins him, it's like pretty easy for him to like get the maximum amount of damage off. In addition to that, um what do you call it? Brewmaster can't really stop Juggernaut from farming because if Brewmaster, what do you call it, Drunken hazes him, he can just spin the wave and then get the farm anywhere.
So,
Um
but when he gets Omni Slash, Panda Brew can just split and then basically let his Pandalings actually absorb that damage.
yeah, but that's like after the laning phase. I'm talking about like
Are we
like I'm
talking
saying Juggernaut.
pre
Yeah,
10 minutes?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So Juggernaut's like a very very and even then, like the thing is that like let me put it this way, like if Juggernaut has spin up or whatever, like there is no at no point can Brewmaster really like kill him by himself, because if things are really going awry, Juggernaut can just spin TP out or something, and there's nothing that Brewmaster can really do about it other
Yeah.
than like
Okay.
hope and pray that he's got enough damage to kill him during that duration, which is probably unlikely. Um, unless like Juggernaut's misplayed or something. So there's that aspect as well. I like basically sure Brewmaster can use his ulti to get rid of the Omni Slash or whatever, but there are more conditions where Juggernaut can kill Brewmaster than the other way around. Like if they're 1-on-1, like if at least in my opinion at least. And now they've got Silencer, right? So that's going to be a bit of an irritating one for Brewmaster to deal with, and it's also irritating for Phoenix. So you'll probably actually find this is going to be Silencer plus Juggernaut, I think, because Silencer is quite a nice solution to Phoenix in lane. Because if Phoenix tries to dive, if you silence him, he can't stop his dive, so he'll come right back. So if he tries to escape, he can die, but he'll come straight back because you can't cancel it.
Yes. Okay.
Which is a bit annoying. This has happened to me before. So if that's the case, then Juggernaut can just like spin down the Phoenix, and it's an easy kill in the laning phase.
They do actually complement the rest of their lineup with the PL now. Any changes to him in specifically?
Not that I've noticed. No. I don't even know if it was touched. I assume it was touched. in the last few patches, like when that was buffed. So I don't think it was changed at all. So that kind of makes that means that this winter big Earthshaker game, that's gonna be pretty cool. So anyway, what I was gonna say is that like this Winter Wyvern pickup makes a little bit more sense now. So I mean Winter Wyvern's a nice support. Don't get me wrong, but I think it's that they've mostly now picked it up because they recognize cool this heroes in the pool, and it's also really good against PL. So you'll probably find like before this picking phase, they wanted to pick up PL as well, but obviously picking up the Winter Wyvern first, so that the other team can't get it because Winter Wyvern's really good against PL.
Okay, so it was more like a deny pick, really.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, what do they finalize their drafts with now? They're looking for 2 mid heroes, yeah? What is it that they're going to be trying to get?
So I think on the side of Team Schlinks, I would say that they need a mid lane hero that's going to help them put a lot of early pressure going, because they can't really go for another greedy hero because they've already got a PL, and Brewmaster isn't like the least greedy offlane in the world either, right? Brewmaster also wants to get a little bit of farm on the map as well, so I don't think they can afford to go for a very farm heavy mid hero. But I think what they're probably going to do is they'll probably wait to see, because they have last pick, so they'll probably wait to see what Team Muzzy does, and then pick a mid laner accordingly.
How come we haven't seen any Shadow Fiends being picked up in this latest meta? Because obviously Shadow Fiend wants to deny to get his souls up, but it would benefit him because now he's also getting gold from the deny. So why haven't we seen Shadow Fiends being picked up of late? Or are they just better heroes? I don't know. I don't know why
I think there are numerous factors. I mean, I do think there are better heroes than SF at the moment, but I think a large factor does come into the fact that SF was really bad last patch, because like he was very easy. Like SF is very easy to kill, very easy to deal with. Like it doesn't matter how strong he is. Like even if he's like very far ahead, like he's very easy to kill if you jump him, kind of thing, right?
Okay.
So like that's his problem from the previous meta, and because of that, in the previous meta, like there's always going to be that hesitation to pick him up now because he's not obviously strong. You might find the thing with these heroes that aren't very good as well, right, is that like a lot of the time they might be very good, but players haven't really like worked out how to play him play him in a way that makes him good in this current patch. I don't think he's very strong right now because, like you said, I think there are just better heroes. And the other thing is just that, like, if you pick an SF, there's almost always a situation where there's a hero in the pool that A already deals with them pretty well, or B, if your opponent hasn't picked a hero, they can just pick a hero, I don't know, like a Broodmother or something that just like doesn't give him a lane, So it's just a hero that like I think really struggles against like heroes that come out at the moment.
How do you feel about this last Dragonite pick?
I think it's I think it's decent. It's definitely a hero that kind of like it's definitely a hero they can work with, right? It's a hero that's gonna give them like nice early pressure. It's a hero that doesn't necessarily need to farm a crazy amount.
Which draft do you favor? Let's run it off that way. Which draft do you actually prefer this time around?
Okay, so this is the core Earthshaker. I think my opinion hinges on. I prefer the side of Team Muzzy's draft on the basis that Silencer creates a lot of problems for heroes like Brewmaster and Phoenix and PL for that matter. Or creates a lot of problems for, in fact, Winter Wyvern, Brewmaster, Phoenix, and PL. Or PL before he gets Manta. And in addition to that, like if this Earthshaker has a really good game, like it's gonna be it's like pretty much your PL just gets deleted every single time. So like on that basis, I kind of like Muzzy's draft a little bit more. I don't know if we're waiting for confirmation. Were the coaches in the lobby this time? I can't remember.
Yes, I got confirmation. Coach Muzzy has left the lobby.
I haven't heard anything yet, so.
Right.
I'm not sure if Slinks was in the lobby. Oh, but it says to me Slinks is spectating a game, so I assume he wasn't in the lobby. I didn't see him.
Well, I'm just
Anyway, I
saying
guess we'll continue.
my money's on Team DK because that is one cool skin.
I don't know if that's. I don't know if that's. Yeah. I mean, if you're
If that's
basing
a
it on
if that's a
the
worthy
cosmetics, then
reason.
sure. Yeah, yeah, sure, exactly. I mean, look, what's his name? Like, I'm not like by no means I don't do I think that the advantage is like cut and dry in terms of like the fact that let me put it this way. I don't think like there are very definite and obvious ways for Team Schlinks to win this game, definitely. For example, like if this PL gets a really good start, and like this, and if the PL and DK get like really good starts, then and they have the early momentum, then this game is gonna get really tough, I think, for Team Muzzy to deal with because the one problem that Team Muzzy does have is that they're gonna have to wait for this Earthshaker to come online with his Blink Dagger and all that kind of
Mm.
stuff to really start getting to get the ball rolling, and their lane bottom isn't the strongest, especially not against the Winter Wyvern plus PL, I'd say. Um, and
Well, Curse
if
does cause a problem for the Winter Wyvern. I mean, he's not going to want to throw out his Splinter Blast as often as what he would like to.
I mean, sort of, but the thing is, like, I mean, if you just Arctic burns the silencer, right? Like, silencer can't really trade with them. So I definitely think that like Winter Wyvern is the stronger laning hero. Um, yeah, personally, and also like hypothetically speaking, and like also the other thing is like the nice thing is that both Winter Wyvern and PL have ways to get out of a situation where they've been fissure blocked. Because with PL
That's
can use
true. They got
Doppelganger
the
and Winter
doppel.
Wyvern can use Arctic Burn.
Well, here we go. He's already putting a little bit of pressure onto the side of Team Muzzy. So he's pretty happy just to try and farm away. So like you said, it's going to be a little bit of a tough lane for them. I suppose they're going to just wait for that
Yeah.
Winter Wyvern to stop flying around, and
Yeah,
they'll be able
exactly.
to deal with him a little bit better.
So like I said, I mean, I think a lot of the success for Muzzy's team this game is gonna hinge on like how well and how quickly this Earthshaker can get like his items up, specifically his Blink Dagger. Um, because without that, I struggle. I mean, I guess they got like Mirana ulti that can help them start fights and stuff like at early points, but that's gonna help them to a point. Like you really want this Earthshaker to be able to like instantly jump in, echo, for example, the PL, get a pick off, and then continue. Like I said, I do think there's a lot of pressure that's hinged on this Earthshaker to get the ball rolling as early as you can. I'd say.
Well, we have seen that teams that have like decent engage or decent
Yeah.
fight starters generally win the
Yeah.
team fight. We didn't see it last game because I mean Team Schlinks did have the Magnus and the Void, and they couldn't actually
Yeah.
find decent engagements. But
Yeah.
other than that, I mean the only engager for the side Team Mazzy is going to be the Earthshaker. So yes, I do
Yeah.
agree that he needs to come online. They do
Yeah.
have Moonlight Shadow that they can actually use to actually maybe set up a fight. But
Yeah. Exactly.
but as far as that, the engage for Team Schlinks is maybe the Phoenix dive into ball. Maybe that's a way that they can actually try and start a fight there.
Well, to be honest with you, like, okay, so this is the one nice thing that's about Team Slinks' draft is that they've got numerous ways to start fights, right? You can have Brewmaster use his ulti to like, and then use his Earth Brew to stun somebody. They can like set up with a Winter Wyvern ulti first, and then into Phoenix Egg. Dragon Knight can like if he opts to go for Blink Tag or whatever, can blink and Dragon Tail somebody for a stun. Like there's like they've got like multiple avenues. Like it's not which is generally like a better way to go about things. The problem is if you only have one source of initiation and that hero doesn't really have the best start or is being controlled during the game, you're in a bit of a problem. Because then if your initiation isn't coming off, then how do you start fights? So
Yes.
if you've got multiple sources of initiation, it's a lot easier to pull off.
Well, we did see even in the last game. I mean, they had the Void and the Magnus, and they struggled to actually synergize their attack essentially.
Yeah.
So having a
Yeah,
one person initiator kind of says, well, it's your responsibility to start fights, and everyone else
yeah,
just waits for that to happen. When you have multiple sources, it becomes a little bit of a problem. But Bump picks up an easy kill in the bot lane. I mean,
yeah, it's pretty
just
big. I think we spoke about like how important it is for Bump to get a good start, and you know, getting the first blood is definitely a step in the right direction, I'd say.
yeah, absolutely. He may probably want to finish up his arcane boots before he does get his blink, but Panda in the top lane does go down as well. Um, Game Reaper not going to be able to keep his teammates alive. Doppel, Vusi, another strong combination. They played together in the previous game, and it seemed to work for the both of them, and they've opted to go for the exact same route.
Yeah, the problem with this Phoenix Brewmaster lane, specifically against the Juggernaut, is like neither really have a way. Neither really. I mean, sure, Phoenix can just dive out. That's fine, but like Phoenix doesn't really have a way to kind of prevent his core from dying. And like the thing is, okay, so Brewmaster is like has got like one is faster than Juggernaut by one, fair enough. But now Juggernaut just picked up his brown boots, so that's not the case anymore. So Brewmaster is now slower than Juggernaut is currently. So you know, if Juggernaut chooses to spin on Brewmaster, there's very little that can be done.
Well, in the meantime, Malf is pretty happy. I mean, he's already got 2 stacks to his intelligence.
Yeah, no, for sure. So he sticking around for this one kill here, getting. So obviously, like the last kill obviously wasn't close enough for the intelligence stack, but now getting on the board with that intelligence seal. Who was that on? Was that on the PL? Yeah, it was.
Oh wow, Game Reaper goes down to a dazzle.
Mm-hmm.
Just a simple, easy little fight, trying to get the bounty ruins, and you thought it would be an easy TP out. Turns out it wasn't.
Yeah, it's always a bit of a worry when like you've got a situation where like your offlane is scared. Your offlane dual lane is scared of like the safe lane dual lane, because that means you can't really put their carry under like too much pressure, which is a bit of a concern for Team Schlinks at the moment, I'd say.
Bot lane though, just having a look here, Malf may actually go down. Sill's trying to put on the pressure, but Bump trying to do his work. They do lose the silencer, but Bump does pick up the return kill onto the core, so this is actually really good for them. And now Shangreal, he's going to have to get out. Splinter Blast going to put a little bit of damage on him. He's going to try and fight it out. No, Bump not in range to actually get the stun off, as he just walks it off.
Yeah, Bump quite happy
Top
right
lane
now.
though.
6 minutes in.
Vusi may actually get the kill here, and misunderstood. It does. Vusi gets that last second crit, that crucial crit, to actually take down the Panda. So far, Team Muzzy actually pretty happy with this kind of outcome. They lose Bump in the bot lane, though they did manage to get the PL back in lane and actually take him down.
Yeah.
Shangreal may actually go down. Yeah, okay, no, the curse is actually finished, and he's going to just be able to keep himself alive there.
Yeah, I think he might just get back. Oh, I don't know. Okay, look, they're gonna go to the shrine. So I was gonna say he might go back if the carry didn't need the shrine, but I think like Soul's running with him now as well, so both gonna use the shrine, heal up, get some mana, and then just go back to the lane and continue as they were.
I mean, we haven't really touched mid lane much. I mean, I think it was pretty confident it was going to be pretty much a sacked lane, just because the DK is just going to regen and the Mirana can't do much against him. So pretty much a sacked lane, but I thought we'd just at least give them a little bit of a limelight for a second or two. So we'll jump back to where the action is. Let's jump back to the bot lane, where the action did actually take place. They lost the silence, so the pings do come out onto Bump. They may actually look at putting a bit of pressure on him. The Winter Wyvern is low. They do bring in the Phoenix now. Bump, he's going to get chased down. 3 heroes here for Team Schlinks. Bump trying to fight it out. Trying to juke through the trees. There comes in Mirana. Almost gets the kill. Almost gets a double kill. Beautiful usage on the wand onto the Winter Wyvern. Bump. He's got very low HP. He's going to try and see if he can make sure he can get the stun off. There it is. Used. Done. Brings out the kill. Turns it around. There's the ulti. Double kill for Bump from almost turning it around. Beautifully done from Team Muzzy. That was super close for Bump actually going down. And that was a big turnaround. Big turnaround.
Yeah, incredibly well executed. Like brilliant rotation from Soda. Bump looked like he was pretty much, condemned, but using the fog to his advantage of the trees, keeping himself alive, and yeah, exactly, turning it around and not even losing the Earthshaker. So he'll be pretty happy with that. 1.2k gold for Bump already. 8 minutes into the game, getting really close to that Blink Dagger. Pretty much halfway there. So I'm yeah, pretty sure he's quite stoked with how things are going at the moment.
And while this is all happening, Vusi calmly, quietly just farming in the top lane. So the core for the side of Team Schlinks not having as easy a time as what Vusi is. And that just goes around to show the strength of the supports in the early parts of the game. But Bump, he's looking like he wants to be attacked here. He gets jumped, doppelganger on, throws down the Fisher. Now Bump taking quite a bit of damage here, still needs to get out. Last word being used out, does actually pop the wand. Mouth not going to have enough to actually finish him off. And he's going to be able to survive through it.
The current situation of like how the lanes are going is actually like it's a big problem for Team Schlinks. And they're losing they're winning their mid lane, sure, I think like marginally. Or like it's like pretty even, but I think DK's having the better time. Let me actually have a look at last hits quickly before I even.
No, DK's doing good. DK's 52 for 13, and so does 41 for 4.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty even. Like their net worth isn't like it's like 200k net worth difference, so it's like not over. But the point is DK is ahead, right? But the problem is that like neither of their side lanes are going like great. Like their Brewmaster's is like reverted to jungling because like the top lane is it's like untenable now. He can't go back to the lane. He'll just die every single time. Juggernaut's way too far ahead now, and it's like Juggernaut's too far ahead now, and it's favorable for Juggernaut anyway. So he can't go back to the lane until he's got some items and some levels.
Bot lane though, looks like they managed to pick up a kill here onto Winter Wow, and they almost got the PL. They dropped the Fisher. Shangriel, don't think he can get out of it. No, he doesn't. He does go down. Still hiding here on the sidelines. Super scared there from them. Top lane though, Grave having to actually be used here for the side of Team Muzzy. Going to salve himself up, so not too much action happening there. Looking back in the bot lane, still just hiding in the trees. He can't actually push out at the moment. I mean, it is still 1v1, but you've got Echo Slam available. Still has to be really careful when he decides to jump into the Earthshaker, because turning it around becomes so easy for the side of Muzzy.
Yeah. So what I was saying was that like the problem that team let's just see what happens to this. Oh, and he's gone.
Boom. We call that the 3 Cloud Fist.
Yeah, and that's
Totem, Fisher, Echo.
Yeah, and that's the Blink Dagger online, and it's not even like he's just got it now. He's TPing back to get his Blink Dagger, and that's like a sub 11 minutes blink. So he'll be pretty happy with that timing. And as I was saying, like the problem that what do you call it? That Team Schlinks has at the moment. It's like neither of their safe lanes are really going well. So what this then means is that like sure your DK is doing alright, and your DK is probably going to get the mid tower like pretty soon because it's pretty low. But the issue is that like where does he go after that, right? So it's going to be difficult for him to kind of to put his pressure on a lane that's losing quite considerably, right? Where like his other core isn't going to be able to help him too much.
I mean, well, where do they go? I mean, okay, wait, to mid lane, they do get the stun off, gets the deny. Okay, so Soda just gets the stun off just to make sure he gets the deny, but actually pretty low HP. He's going to have to get himself back to some healing. Looking in the top lane, they did lose Game Reaper on the Phoenix. The TP does come in, the dive as well. Going to throw down his burning fireflies. They're going to try and pick up the dazzle. The stun does come through. There's the ray. He gets Yulesed up, winded up as well. Does get the grave off. Now he's just going to be able to TP out if he can. They've got no stun. They've got nothing to stop it. Oh wow, okay, he does go down, but that would have been one of the amazing escapes. And I think he just double clicked TP, and unfortunately previously someone TP'd to the throne, so that TP wasn't the minimum cooldown time, man.
So sadly, Corrosive Breath about to, the Dragon Form is about to wear off, so they're not really going to be able to do too much here with the Dragon DK ulti, but going to put a little bit of pressure on this lane anyway.
Oh, wow. Blink into Syl. Syl goes down. Going to try and punch out Shangriel. He's going to heal himself up, and he's just waiting. Bump, boom. Good stun on the totem, good timing. I don't think he's going to be able to get away here. He doesn't. He goes down. Double kill here for the side of Team Muzzy in their offlane. So this offlane is really doing work for them. Sitting 14 and 5 at the 13-minute mark, 5k ahead. Things are looking really good for Team Muzzy.
So I mean, in that time, yeah, the side of, what do you call it? The side of Team Schlenks did manage to get that top tower, even though that the DKLT did wear off. And in addition to that, actually, you know, he's getting really
big Echo Slam being used out. Commits. They didn't even get the primal split off, but DK is there's going to get the stun, but the Grave is going to be good. They're going to use Egg to try and bring him down. Bump's going to try and TP. He's not going to be good enough. Should have TP'd out immediately. And the Moonlight Shadow are going to actually be committed. They're going to get their asses out of there. And big rotations coming out for Team Schlenks. I suppose that's a big win. Mirana is still farming mid. She takes down the mid tier 1 as well. Vusi in the top lane. He's also pretty chuffed. So space created from the off lane.
Yeah, I mean, like, they do have the DK LT up, so I don't know if they're gonna opt to push here or not. Doesn't look like it. Looks like DK is just content to use his LT to farm jungle. But yeah, like, I mean, not too bad. Echo LT used and managed, and Mirana LT used, and they managed to get a pretty favorable trade, I'd say. So they won't be too bleak about that. However, Mirana did use the space to get to the middle tower. So yeah, pretty much, like, I don't think particularly favors anyone, but yeah, I guess it's alright.
I'm looking at the net worths at the moment. Three of the cores for the side of Team Muzzy are at the top. Only the DK is sitting second on the log. Is DK? Is it enough for the DK to be farmed? Is it enough to actually keep them in the game? And he's building towards Radiance and Blink. Keep that in mind.
I think if any of the cores needs to be doing well for the side of Team Schlenks, it had to be the DK. If the DK had a really rough time, it would have been, I think, pretty much a disaster. Because, like, he's the momentum hero. He's the hero that's going to be the playing around. He's going to use that, use his DK ulti, and then or Fisher just not catching the right side of him, so he'll be fine. Yeah, but basically he's going to be using his DK ulti and then using that momentum to, you know, get objectives, get towers, like we mentioned before the game. You know, needing to be proactive, putting pressure on the map. But he's going to be caught out here.
They find the DK. Is it going to be enough to bring him down? They're going to use silence as well, making sure that they get that kill, and not going to be saved out by the Winter Wyvern, even though he was not even in the vicinity. On top of that, they pick up the kill onto the Dragon Knight, but now Echo Slam is available in 1, and this could be a potential for them to still continue fighting. The arrow does come out, going to only land on the illusion. This could be go time again for Team Muzzy.
So we haven't mentioned this, right? But I'm going to mention this now. So one of the best ways to deal with Dragon Knight is to buy a Spirit Vessel, right? Because the big strength of Dragon Knight is, like, the amount of regen that he has, right? It's just, like, so difficult. Obviously, his armor as well, but, like, one of his biggest traits is the amount of regen he has. Like, when he comes on, like, alive now in 2 seconds, we'll see how much he has. He's got, okay, he's in the fountain. That doesn't help me. What is his regen? And now he's okay, he's got 23 regen per second, right? So that's quite difficult to cut through, right?
Yes.
But the best way to deal with that is by getting a Spirit Vessel. You buy a Spirit Vessel on somebody, and then DK just feels like it's like a fraction of his former self, because he's, like, now all of a sudden really easy to kill. They
pick up the PL as well. Bump committed everything to that. They do get the kill. Now they bring in the whole bunch of teams here. They're going to drop the egg. Malf trying to get himself out of there. They do use Moonlight Shadow though, so they can't actually find the return kills. He has actually been dusted up, so they may look at trying to find the silencer. Bump not on point with his enchant totem, but it may not be necessary. He's still got enchant totem and Fisher available. There comes out the totem. Going to try and right click down the Winter Wyvern. It does. Stun comes out onto silencer, but Yule's going to be used out. Going to try and keep Malf alive. There's the Grave. Bump doing work, getting there, getting the chance to totem. Little Spoon wants the silencer, gets the right click, going to be good enough to bring down the silencer. Now stun being used out onto Dazzle. Bump being controlled out by the Panda. That's a little bit unfortunate. Can't get him into the battle, but nice usage of the Fisher. They're blocking out the side of Team Schlenks, and Doppelganger going to be able to keep the PL alive, but there's the Yules into Arrow. No, Arrow's going to be off, and then misses the DK as well. That would have been an unlucky but lucky shot. They lose the Mirana, but now Misunderstood needs to get out of there, surrounded by 2. Boosie joins the party, and things just start turning around here for Team Muzzy. They lose the Mirana, they lose the Silencer, but everything other than that, it was pretty good fight for Team Muzzy, and it was.
bearing in mind, PL died twice technically in that fight because he was initiated on in the beginning and the fight broke out, and now he's gone back to the fight and he dies again. So this PL is like, I mean, look at his net worth. The silencer has more net worth than the PL. The PL is struggling so much right now. He's really been pressured in the beginning of the game, and just not finding the space to farm, getting picked off in the jungle constantly. Yeah.
But what would you tell your team? What would you tell your team now? You team Schlinks, okay, boys, we've got a draft that works, but things aren't going well. What do we do? Retreat to the jungle, ward it up, make sure that they can't get any ganks on us, and take it from there. I mean, this is now completely left. Things open here for Team Muzzy to actually jump into the rush, but pretty much uncontested. And Vus is going to be able to pick up that Aegis, and it just gets worse from this point.
Yeah. So I think what needs to, I mean, like, I say they need to be aggressive. It's like really difficult to be at this point because you're so far behind. But I think what literally needs to happen is that this PL can't afford to be farming in areas anymore because they have vision, right? They've got aggressive vision, so they're gonna see where he's farming if he's trying to farm in the jungle or something. And if he's in the lane, they're gonna obviously see him because he's farming their camp. So what needs to happen, and I think, is that the PL needs to tell his team, look, group up somewhere, try to do something, and I'll farm in the jungle behind you. So for example, if they're pushing, let's say, the bottom lane or something, like while they're pushing the bottom lane and putting pressure there, he can farm behind them in the jungle. So it's safe for him to farm, like as opposed to him farming on the opposite side of the map and then just getting picked off because he's completely alone.
And if he does get picked off, at least get a return.
Yeah, exactly. So he's going to be close to his team, farming safely, deep in the jungle, but you know his team's like ahead of him, so it's difficult to like get past the team to just pick him off.
Looks like Team Muzzy wanted to try and take their tier 2. Team Schlinks was in position to actually hold that push. They had to put a little bit of damage on it, not enough to actually take it down. And Team Muzzy, they just fall back, maybe reassess, reevaluate. What does ES go for now? He's got about 2k in the bank. He's pretty happy with his items. He's got himself a Euls. What else does he need in his inventory? I feel that a lot of the team fights that they're winning is because of the Earthshaker.
Yeah, I mean, let's think.
Ags.
I mean, Ags is Grenadier, so like potentially Ags. Yeah, you're right.
I just like Ags because he just bounces everywhere. That's just me though.
I mean, another option for him to go would even be like, I think, a Shivas this game. Like just pretty much like if you get a Shivas this game, like this PL is never coming online. Like the Shivas just absolutely destroys a PL. I mean, it's going to be great against PL and the DK as well, giving him like a nice amount of armor, providing a bit of attack slow, a little bit of AoE magic damage in addition. And in fact, the DK looks like he's going for a Shivas, to be honest. Which is quite interesting. So we'll see what Earthshaker can go here. Like, he's got multiple, there are multiple viable things for him to go. I think it just depends on what he decides his responsibility is.
Oh, that hurts. Panda jumps in for a cheeky deny on the healing ward. Before you know it, it's quick on the button on the silence, and he goes down. They're going to work on the egg. The egg goes down. No follow-up here from the side of Team Schlinks. They're down 2. They do have buyback available on Phoenix, so they're going to see if they're going to have to use it. Little Spoon trying to get out. Arrow's going to land onto the Winter Wyvern. Beautiful Echo Slam onto 3. Fish is going to block them out. They're going to need to find themselves out of there. The Doppel does come through from Sil, so he's going to be able to, but he goes down. Triple kill coming out from Soda. They're pushing tier 3s, ladies and gentlemen. This is super scary for them. Only Game Reaper available. He did use buyback to try and stop it. It's not going to be good enough. Yules is there. Going to try and line up the totem. It is good. There's the Fisher. He goes down. And I think this pretty much could be a GG. The Phoenix is down for 55. DK down for 23. PL down for 14. But he's essentially a non-starter. So this is a bit of a problem for him. The good news is they do have splits still available in the Panda. So, no, the call is to actually retreat. They're going to try and bash what they can. And the call is to get out. They got one lane of racks, and this is how it begins. They slowly start chipping away at the base.
So they couldn't get any more. The tier 2s are still up in other lanes. So like they got what they could get, and then just left as soon as because they were never gonna they couldn't end the game. They can't get the tier 4s at this point really. So but too much to ask. But you know, getting the full lane of racks. We spoke about how important it was for Bump on the ES to really have a really good start, for really to have a high impact on this game, and that's what he's doing. You know, he's the echoes he's getting he's been getting this game have been on point, playing like I wouldn't maybe not to perfection, but playing incredibly well.
One or two
misplays
on the fishes. It's the only reason, but
yeah,
still.
I mean, like, but other than that, you can, I mean, you can, what do you call it? You can forgive him like for like, on the count of like the amount of like huge plays that he's made in like in return. Like these big echoes that have been coming out, controlling this PL. I wouldn't say he's the sole reason, but he is pretty much the reason this PL is like hasn't had a game yet. Like PL is still sitting on pretty much Hooded Defiance and then 2 Wraith Bands. There's like, and it's 23 minutes in the game. It doesn't even have his first big item yet. So he's still really, really struggling. Yeah, exactly. Sitting at 5.7k net worth, pretty much.
Even the Panda has higher net worth than him. But in all fairness, the ES sees the PL, and that's the first thing he goes on. Aegis has been actually used out. They're going to use the silence. Vusi trying to work onto the PL. Actually gets saved out by the Winter Wyvern. Now Vusi trying to get himself out of there. He's going to be turned on. But no, yes, he's just waiting for that echo. It is available. He's lining it up. Can he find the 4-man echo? There, he jumps in. Oh, the egg coming out. They need to work it down. They do actually stun out Little Spoon on the DK. They're not going to be able to get the egg. He actually manages to get the egg down, uses himself up. There comes the grave. This could be a big opportunity here for Team Schlinks to bring it around. No, they don't. Bump gets himself a double kill. And Jugger just trying to get himself out of there. Low HP. And now the Panda is very close on finding, almost finding that latch. But now the Panda needs to get out of there. Fisher's brought down. Bump. Can actually close the gap. Okay, so now Misunderstood may actually turn it around. Enchant Totem. Okay, uses the Panda up. Here comes a relatively slow fight. Been tag team here from the entire team of Team Muzzy. Light the Sun Rays not even going to be able to keep him alive. He goes down, and this may actually cost Game Reaper his life. He gets saved out by the Winter Wyvern. For how long we'll see. One more arrow is going to be good enough to bring down Game Reaper, and only one alive for Team Schlinks. If they feel like they want to push, I think the gate's open. Although PL and DK are back in the game.
I wonder if somebody is telling this team what I'm saying, because we mentioned what is ES going to go for next, and I mentioned Shivas, and lo and behold, without even keying it up, look at ES's next item that he's bought.
Well, I wouldn't blame you. We're a bunch of geniuses on the side of the mic here.
So obviously, like, either we're thinking alike, or someone is giving his team a bit of an inside scoop. So we'll see. It'll be interesting to see which. I mean, I'm sure like he could have put one and two together. It's quite obvious that Shivas is quite good against PL at the very least, So
I just wish people would listen to me when I say pick techies.
Okay, let's not go too far.
Do you know that I've never actually ever casted a game of techies, just by the way? And I can't believe you've never watched any John Wick movies.
Nah. John Wick is overrated. Changed my mind.
Ladies and gentlemen, Cyprus, my co-caster, has never watched John Wick. Never.
Yeah. John Wick. Keanu Reeves is only good in The Matrix. Changed my mind.
Take that back. Take that back, boy.
Yeah. Anyway, no, but yeah, like just I am like I don't wanna create the caster's curse or whatever, but I don't see a way back into this game for Team Schlinks anymore. And the reason I say that is because like
PL's just so overwhelmed. I think
PL has no farm, firstly. But the other thing is, like, what's gonna never mind that there's a 31k net with advantage at 27 minutes, right? The problem is that
oh, hold that thought though. Here comes the fight. Little Spoon immediately into Dragon Mode. The grave being used up into Marauder. The egg being used out. Team Muzzy falling away from the egg. Yes, does actually get stunned out, but a beautiful 3-man Echo Slam. Game Reaper goes down, gets taken down by the Silencer. Now they're trying to work their attention on to the ES, but with the PL. The PL is going to rethink this through. Doppelganger's out. He may be able to get out, but no, Soda's there. Drops the Starfall 3 here. Triple kill coming out for Soda. GG well played has been called out, and the boys from Team Muzzy do take the win. That is it. The best of 3 is done. Team Muzzy have done it. They are going through to the semis here at the Empire Cup, Empower Cup. It was beautifully executed from Team Muzzy.
I mean, like, unfortunately, the side lanes for Team Schlinks didn't go well at all. So, you know, like the only lane really going well for them was the mid lane. But sadly enough, because of that, you know, DK couldn't really put a lot of pressure on any other lanes because of how badly the other lanes went. And yeah, like Team Muzzy just, you know, they played the game really well. I think the standout performance this game specifically is definitely Bump. I think Bump played an incredibly good game, getting incredibly huge echoes off, really controlling this PL, making sure he doesn't come online, and you know, yeah, really well played to him. Other thing is just how well Team Muzzy itemized for this game. You know, getting up Ashivas to deal with the PL, even if he does come online, which didn't even happen. Getting Silencer recognizing that he needs to get an early Spirit Vessel, and the thing is, like, if you're DK and you don't have BKB, and someone on the other team gets a Spirit Vessel, you're in a lot of trouble because that item seriously hurts DK. And yeah, like, unfortunately, the side of Slings didn't really get the time to come online and like punch back.
No, they didn't. They didn't. Also, shout out to the Dazzle. I must say some of his graves were really on point. And literally, Dazzle failed 8 times that game.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at the amount of deaths, then that was potentially because he was not even in lane with them. The fact that he kept his teammates alive. Yeah. The fact that he kept his teammates alive for so long. That should actually be like another statistic, is how many graves saved your allies' lives.
Yeah, I mean, his landing partner didn't die once, so I guess there's that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you also played really well. So shout out to Team Muzzy. Well done, Coach Muzzy, bringing it closer to that inevitable finals. They are through to the semis. So it's going to be an interesting day of Dota. But that rounds up this game. This best of 3 is done. Team Muzzy do qualify to go through. Unfortunately, we have to say goodbye to Team Schlinks. That is pretty much it. There are other games that are happening on Mr. Scorpion Snare are casting as well. Camille and Rock Lee are also casting as well. Hit them up on their channels if you want to see other games that are being played. You can watch in-game or on stream. I know Scarp is streaming on Twitch, and I think Mr. Camille is actually streaming on YouTube. So search them out, see the rest of the games, or watch them in game. For myself, Jabba and Cypress, we thank you for joining us. We're going to bounce. My casting duties are done for the day, so we hope to see you guys, or I hope to see you guys soon. Mr. Cypress will be joining Mr. Camille later for the 2 o'clock game. I think in the interim, let's maybe bring up what the schedule looks like for the day, so that everyone can see what is going on if things do work. But
so basically, or the basic schedule is obviously, so at the moment all the quarterfinals are happening. If you're still watching the stream, at 2 o'clock we'll have the 2 semifinals. So the winner of Team Muzzy will play against, I'm not too sure who they play against. But maybe you can find that out just now. But so they'll be playing somebody at 2 o'clock, and there'll be another semi-final happening at 2 o'clock as well. I'll be casting one of those with Camille, like Jabba said, and then at what time is it? I think it's at 6 o'clock. Yeah, at 6 o'clock the final and the third, fourth playoff will be happening as well. So yeah, like still a lot of Dots to be played. And champions to be crowned today. So yeah, I'd say stick around. Some good Dota is hopefully on its way.
Well, I've got the ladder up on the stream at the moment, so you can see the games that are taking place at the moment. Team Muzzy does go through to the semi-finals. We're waiting for the results for Team Castaway and Team Snoops to see who actually faces up against Team Muzzy, as well as the rest of the results. But the semi-finals will basically be played at 2 o'clock and the finals at 6, like Mr. Cypress says. But from ourselves, we wish you a absolutely fabulous Sunday, a wonderful Monday, and a great week. From myself, Jabba, goodbye and God bless.